Hello, 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 Pisces. I was thinking it started and it didn't, but then it started. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Pisces. How are you guys doing today? For those of you that are brand new, my name is Patty. I'm here to do your intuitive tarot from the 12th to the 18th of April. And we just had a new moon on the 11th. And if you are watching this before the 11th, there is a new moon reading that I will be doing live at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in the U.S. At 1 o'clock. So if you want to watch that, just hit the subscribe and the bell. It'll notify you when I am on. All right. There's a lot of new moon energies. Some of them are still being pulled, the same energies as the full moon, but I will share those tomorrow. All right, so let's get started, Pisces. I don't usually do readings on Saturday afternoon, so let's see what energy these bring in. So for those that are new, I'm using oracles in the beginning. Oracles are different than a tarot card. But they give us sort of a standard theme. And the first oracle I'm going to pick is the Divines, because if you don't know about my tarot, I do intuitive, and that is straight from Divine, straight from second dimension, which is our second dimension we cannot see. It is also of where Divine lays. And the card is for your future. It is also for what he's wanting you to focus in on this next week. It's also maybe he's trying to answer a question you have, struggle you're going through, challenge. So that is the Divines card. Second card is the current energies for the 12th through the 18th. And then those usually go together with the Divine. It's really amazing how he does this. And then the third energy is for the future. I'm going to tell you, though, I think this is for the next couple of months, not just this weekend and the next week. I really think that it is for the next month. All right. So the next 2 months. So let's see what we've got to play with here today. Let's say you see what kind of energies. So this is, I'm doing this at about 3 in the afternoon, 3:15 in the afternoon. So we get afternoon energies almost to the 12th, actually. We're getting really close. So I like doing readings when we're so close to the actual energy. He shows up every flippin' reading. Divine is in. You do too. Wow. Out of 50 some cards, 58 cards, these seem to be popping up, seem to be the definite theme for this week. Again, the Raven's been showing up as usually the current energy card, but this week, or for you guys in Pisces, it's showing up for the Divine card, meaning that there's some synchronistic events that are going on. I call them destiny events. And if people don't understand, destiny, calling, and purpose are not the same thing. Your destiny is the synchronistic events that happen to get you to your calling or destiny. And this is something that is divine driven, divine intervened, and makes them happen to actually your success. Also, too, those synchronistic events, that's the number 10. So you'll know, for you guys that are new, I mixed intuition, astrology, and numerology. It's really important to get all the energies in there. Even though they're pretty much the same, they all have their own messages. So the number 10 is about something that is ending, but it also means that something new is getting ready to start, a new beginning of something, a new energy of something. I've got a spot in my glasses. So this knowing that these synchronistic events, it's sort of like when we meet people, some people come and go. They've come and go for a lesson. Majority of the people in our life come and go for a lesson, whether we're to give them the lesson or we're to get the lesson. It comes and goes, they end, and then a new person comes in. These are things that happen for like putting the pieces to the puzzle. I could tell you this over and over and over with all the experiences in my life. I would pay attention to who's coming in, where that fits in the puzzle in my life, and how I'm going to gain from that. That's one of the big things. That's the synchronistic, okay? The second energy for this current week, the 12th through the 18th. Now remember, you also have these new moon energies coming in probably around the 9th through the 14th, 13th, 14th, somewhere around there. These new energies that are coming in. And that is going to be really hard because when we're looking at these synchronistic events, we are also looking at somebody that has the wasp. Now, the wasp is about anger, retaliation, jealousy, bitterness, anything like that. Anything that's going to sting you in a low vibrational effect. Is it good? Yes, it could be. But you need to be acknowledging. When somebody tells you something you don't want to hear, but it's actually factual about yourself, it might sting for a minute, but if it's something that you really need to think about and maybe change or maybe pay attention to, that's what's happening. The divine is bringing this person, this habit or whatever to light so that you can actually have something go away and new energies and new beginnings happen. So that's your current energy, guys. And your future energy, which is going to happen for the next couple of months, which I can see this happening, is the cow. Okay. And it's also the number 2. So this cow energy is about trying to bring abundance into your life, but it's how you nourish the cow, how you nourish yourself, whether you're going to bring high vibration or you're going to allow those low vibrations to keep holding you back, holding you down, and that kind of a thing. The cow is also ask and receive. How to ask, how to not ask, how to accept and receive. Okay, that's your future energies. Now, the number 2 is to bring balance. Then that's the cow. Bring balance. Also, the number 2 is about bringing either balance, bringing something together, or actually blowing it apart, dividing it, getting it gone, that kind of a thing. Sort of like the number 10. You got to get something gone to actually make something be able to have that fresh new energy, new beginnings, and we have to sort of look at all that. All right, so let's get started on the cards and see. Now, my concern though is this wasp, but that's showing up. So, are these upside down? No. Okay, so the wasp that is showing up, there's anger and retaliation or jealousy, bitterness. That comes from fear. So with the fear, that is something that somebody has to get over, or maybe somebody's perspective is not your perspective and you're just frustrated because they don't come to your side, you don't go to their side, and you don't understand. Rather than agreeing to disagree, this is the way you live your life, this is the way I live my life, and this is the way it's going to be. But let's come together and maybe even not discuss it, like politics. In America, if you're in America, we say do not talk about politics or religion, because those are 2 topics that you want to stay clear from, because there's such a vast variety of opinions out there, which are not factual based. So that means that fear sets in and you're going to fight for something, whether you believe in it or not, whether it is truthful or not. You're sitting there going to fight till the very end. Why? It makes no sense to me. I'm not going to fight about somebody if they, or their opinion or whatever they want. That's their life, their journey, whether it works for them or works not. That's what we need to do. We got to really pay attention to that, because this is a communication thing, but this is also a victory thing. It's a victory win when you feed that cow full of good nourishment, good food, good water, good vitamins, supplements, whatever it is, very nature path kind of stuff, and you're getting in there and you're actually making it so that the cow can put out healthy milk, healthy meat, whatever it is for that cow's purpose. And if the purpose of the cow is just to be a pet, that cow literally puts out love. I've seen lots of cows as pets, and they're just loved, and they do unconditional love. I'm from the country, so cows are for a lot of things. Unfortunately, that we do eat meat. So this 6 of Wands is about a victory of some sort coming up. This is a single victory. This is you doing it. Now, this is not for somebody coming to you that has got this victory. This first card out is you. So whatever this is that you're working on and paying attention to, your synchronistic events, your destiny events, I'm going to call them from this point forward, destiny events. So hopefully if somebody comes in the middle of this, they're going to say, what is she talking about? Go back and watch it. But we've got not only the 5, or excuse me, the 6, we have the 7 of Cups. There's an opportunity coming up. Now, with this opportunity coming up, you got to be careful. Got to be really, really careful, because there's always a joker or somebody who's trying to sabotage in the middle. You can see the snake on the one side. And that is your distractions. That is about getting distracted. That is about going to, it's going to throw your focus off. The other thing too is that this opportunity, you're going to really have to pay attention to the high vibrational energies, because somebody in the interim is really angry about something. They're really frustrated about something. And this is what we want to stay away from, is this. We want to revert it back to the high vibrational and do the opposite. So when we have angry, we look at, why are we angry? And usually that is taken back to your childhood. Okay. That is usually taken back to something that caused you to have this emotion, that, and then that retaliation is lashing out, which is even worse. So what is it that you want to retaliate against? That really, it's all an insecurity in your life. This is an insecurity within yourself. So this is an opportunity maybe to break somebody's insecurities. So there's going to be either a person, a habit that maybe needs to change, because we do need to focus in on making our health better. We need to focus in on things that we are trying to grow in ourselves and our mental challenges better. And I just saw the Lovers card on the bottom. So this is something that's going to be probably to do with maybe a relationship of some type. Now, we can have lovers and have different levels of lovers. You could be just starting to date. You could be newly dating for a couple of months. You could be living together. That's still pretty much playing house as a single. And then you could have lovers as being married. That is a commitment. That is a bond. That is a unity. That is the ultimate unity. A lot of people say, oh, no, that we don't do that anymore in this day and age. Well, you should, because this is a thing that not only, if you want to say that, is that you get a lot more benefits from it, but people think, oh, well, they'll take me for a ride. If you're thinking already that somebody's going to take you for a ride and do all that kind of stuff, and you get married and you fight about the house, you could do that even if you're living single. But the other thing is that you get more benefits from the state and government. That's why there's a lot of marriage. Most countries in the world do not have paper to be married. They don't. That's not their culture. That's not how they run things. Marriage is by word and by a bond. And that, that's how that is. Anyway, I don't know how I got on going on that. But yeah, somebody's actually in turmoil over all this. This is this week's energy. And the divine is saying, I'm trying to show you some things so that you can put some things to rest, because you're struggling over stuff that you don't need to be struggling over. You have to think of what you can do and what you can't and can do today. But somebody's struggling over it. They're probably having nightmares. And this could be a physical ailment too, that they're like facing. This could be something to do with their physical body, that they're really, really trying to, maybe they've got to have to make a decision. These synchronistic events are showing. It's sort of, I just had a knee replacement last month, and I could see it coming up for a couple of years. And it is hard to think about, because I couldn't straighten my leg for 2 years. And I was like, okay, it's coming. I know it's coming. I need to have it done. And trying to find that opportune time to do that. And then asking divine when, until he said now. And then I went in and had it done. Some ailments you can't sit there and wait, but this is a synchronistic event that did happen to make mine happen. But you have to pay attention to what the divine is doing, because I could see it coming. And the reason why I could see it coming is I pay attention to the patterns and the destiny that is going to be there. I pay attention to a focus on the front. What's coming up is like with this cow. And then I look there, but I pay attention to what's happening this time. So we have the Queen of Pentacles next. And the Queen of Pentacles is definitely about knowing about finances, knowing about, she's very confident in herself in the worldly view. In the first dimension, she's very confident that she can handle herself. However, there is a side of her that's just pissed off. And the reason why I say that is because this is the current energy somebody's feeling. Somebody's pissed off, jealous, insecure, angry, bitter, blah, 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 blah. And retaliation's on somebody's mind. Don't do it. You will see that if you don't do it, the divine, either two things happen. And this is not only from me sharing with the divine, but experience. If you go to try to retaliate against somebody and you are wrong because you don't have the whole story, you go and retaliate and you will insert your foot right into your mouth and you will be the one made look like a fool. The other way is your retaliation couldn't even be half of what the divine could do to that person. Let the divine take care of it. Slough it off and let it go. Ooh, we got two queens. Queen of Wands and Queen of Pentacles. A lot of power here, a lot of female power here, a lot of feminine energy here. We had that with another one this week. But the Queen of Wands is about communicating and talking. Do you gossip? Somebody you know who gossips? That is low vibrational. That is very destructive. That is not only very destructive to the person who is gossiping, but it's very destructive to the person who allows to listen. Because then you allow those energies into you. You allow those negative energies and those low vibrations. This is a person that has a dark side that is angry, is jealous, is pretty much in the energy of very low vibrations. This is something that needs to be switched up to the opposite. And anybody can do it. It's a choice not to. So you can stop yourself from gossiping. You can also stop yourself from listening to that gossip. It happens at work all the time, right? It happens, or if you're at school, it happens all the time. Did you hear so-and-so was seeing so-and-so? Did you hear blah, 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 blah? Did you know that our boss did this? Did you know? All you have to say, excuse me, I'm gonna excuse myself. I don't want to listen to this. Sorry, I just don't want to listen to gossip. But by the time you do it a third time, people are going to say, oh, don't tell them because they don't want to hear it. Good, because you know what? That's very low vibrational. You don't, and before you know it, maybe that gossip will stop because some people will stop it as well. I really don't want to listen to that either. I'm going over with Susie because you know what? I don't want to listen to this stuff. This is very low vibrational. This is very destructive, not only to the gossiper, but the gossipee. Because if you do not have both sides of the story, if you do not have facts, I'm criminal justice. I look at the evidence. Bam. The evidence isn't there, then you don't say anything. You don't prosecute. You don't go for it. You don't. Because if you're wrong, again, insert mouth, you cannot prosecute ever again if you're wrong. My brother was murdered. If they would have taken in the wrong person and said, yeah, you did it, and then they didn't have enough evidence and they walked, but then they found the evidence, they can't bring that person back and prosecute again. So this is a gossip thing. This is something that can be stopped. And we're also looking for the future energy because this is about what you're putting into your brain, what you're putting out, what you're putting into your body, what you're putting out. Garbage in, garbage out. Garbage in, garbage out. All right, let's see what else we got going. Whew, that's a big energy. So the Raven, wow, we got 1, 2, 3 here. Wow, interesting. So a total of 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, total of 6. Okay, this is about harmony and improvement. Yes, definitely. So communication. Another offering, another opening. Remember, we said the number 10, you have to have something to go away to have this new. The number 1 is all about new energies, new beginnings, new happenings. So this is about time for the garden to, that seed was planted. It's about a new beginning. That plant is just about ready to sprout and show its little head, and you'll see green coming up out of your garden. Brand new. How, those of you that do garden, how excited are you if you plant seeds, or you don't use starter plants, but you use seeds? How excited are you when you all of a sudden see them popping up? It's exciting because you got to see it, because you couldn't see anything down below before, right? That's the hard work. That's what's waiting. This is what's happening right now. The plant's starting to come up and the ugly head is showing. So we need to make sure that that plant comes up healthy, green, positive. So if this is you, or somebody's coming to you, nip it in the bud. They start gossiping, start talking stuff. I really don't want to listen to it. I have a coworker that continues to still call me and want to gossip about what's going on. I have to stop it, because I'm no longer there, and I know what's going on, and it's a crappy place to work, very toxic. But she has to stay there because she's in her mid-60s, and unfortunately she has to pay attention to the toxic. However, the blessing is there is the COVID pandemic. She gets to work from home. She doesn't have to be around it. But her boss is so toxic, she has to take it over the phone, which personally I would have left and turned her into bully, but she doesn't do that. The thing is, we have it again, the number 2. You're bringing something together, or you're dividing it. That's what, I don't know why gossip. He's got gossip going, and the strength. The strength to step away, the strength to say, I'm not going to listen to this, please. I don't want to listen to this. And they're like, what? First time, a couple times you do it, you're going to blow their minds, and they're going to look like deer in headlights. Huh? You used to listen to it before. You listen. Yep. But you know what? I'm changing. It makes me feel icky, and I don't want to listen to it anymore. Oh, who are you? Are you better than us now? Nope. I'm just changing, and I don't want to listen to it. You don't have to apologize. You don't have to say, you don't have to even give. You know what I'm finding in coaching is people have to try to defend themselves for the things that they want to change or do. No, you don't. You owe nobody anything. This is your journey, your life. You can change and do whatever you want. You want to dye your hair blue because you want to dye your hair blue. You don't have to explain to anybody why you have to dye your hair, or you want to dye your hair blue. It's none of anybody else's business. All right, what cards do I want? Oh, let me do a couple more here with this one. I like this deck. This deck is easy, and I like it. I love the nuance of it and the energies of it. But yeah, so definitely. But again, we really have to focus in this energy, this future energy, what we're putting into our body, our mind, our spirit. Our spirit starts out pure. We're the ones that turn it gray, ugly, black, muddy, all that kind of stuff, because we don't think from our spirit first, our higher self. Some people are like, what does she mean, spirit? Higher self, go to the divine, get your information from outside energies, not people, energy, however you want to put it. There's so many ways to put it. I'm just glad I live in a higher self than I do in a worldly self anymore. Oh, don't get me wrong, though. I make mistakes, and yeah, I go back to thinking worldly once in a while, and I'm glad I have people around me to correct me. Like, hey, don't do that. We have the night. This is good. Now we've got a power couple here, almost back to back. We've got the King of Pentacles and we've got the Queen of Pentacles. Power couple. So this power couple, this could be a couple. I didn't remember the Lovers card popped up once, but not on the bottom of the deck. And the thing is, this power couple is about money and finances. So I would say this person probably is a work person that is doing this. And it's really hard I think maybe you're the person that's listening to it, and it's really hard to step away from it. Okay. But here's your success and your winning, because you will step away from it. You will stand up. Because you've got a new energy, you have the strength, and you're going to walk away. I wish somebody would just stop. I don't know what they're doing out there. Why do they do this? So like right when I get started on videos, they turn around and put on their lawnmowers, put on their blowers, put on whatever. It's like, seriously, can you go somewhere else for a while? But that's what you get for living in the city. So, but this power couple definitely has something to do with the workplace. So I want to say this event of gossiping is going on in the workplace. Oh, wow, we are at 25 minutes. I did not realize that. So pay attention to these synchronistic events. Here's the thing about this. With divine, he doesn't like that. He doesn't like the low vibrational stuff. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like a dirty bird, an unclean bird. I mean, he will go to the unclean bird and use them, but what he'll do is he'll take that unclean, that dirtiness, that low vibrational stuff, and he will turn it around and turn it 180%. So that's why you'll see the raven or the crow, mostly the raven, in the Bible, because the Bible considers the raven an unclean bird. And then he would see, and like prostitutes and things, unclean is what they would use in the stories. And then what happens is the divine will go to that person first, because it is a transformation process. And it is to show others that nobody is any better than anybody. And that's why we have to pay attention to the synchronous. No matter who it is who comes into your life or whatever, they're there for a reason. They're there for a purpose in your destiny. All right. But the gossip, I got to say, it looks like this started definitely at work, or is at work. And again, you can be one to change that to a higher vibration by just changing your focus, your attitude, and how you allow it to come to you, those energies. You got to bounce them off, say, oh, thank you, got to go. And every time, if you don't want to say anything, oh, excuse me, I got to go. Sort of busy. Can't talk now. You just keep going. And every time that happens, before they'll know it, then when they can't tell you, they'll go tell somebody else. When they can't tell you anymore, you'll go tell somebody else. But thank you. So somebody said they're watching. So they're watching the supervisors, the management. They're watching this behavior with somebody. I don't know who it is. Okay. I don't know who it is. Now, if you're not working, this could be at school. Teacher may be watching, professor may be watching. Definitely could be somebody at school or work. But it definitely does have something to do with your future for your career or finance or money. I'll tell you right now, thank you. They want me to share, and everybody knows it. You think a lot of these younger generation, maybe they don't know. However, as employers go and have to find ways to eliminate, because it's such a competition world out there, how to eliminate a potential employee who's put in applications. There might be 100 applications, 10, 15. How they weed out to the top 3 is by going through process of elimination. And people do go, I'm a boss. I'll go look at your Facebook. I'll go look at your social media. I'll go look at the language you're using, who you're hanging out with, and all the other things. I'm not being judgmental. I just need to know the character of the person that I may employ. And is that a person that I want to represent for my company? Because even though you can do whatever you want in your free time, I'll give you an example. If you're in management, then you're outside having a good time and having a big party. You're in management for this company, and you get a little bit too blitzed and you're talking negative about somebody, whether it be about their sexual gender, whatever, they're cheating, whatever it is, you're with your co-buddies that are at work and you say something that shouldn't be said, that other employees, one of them is going to take it back to the boss, even in a joking manner. That can land you losing your job, because it can cost the company hundreds of thousands of dollars if that got to the wrong person, that kind of a thing. That is why employers don't care what you do, but it's how you do it when they look at your social media. Again, and you only do it because either you're insecure, jealous, angry, fear, anything, fear, F-E-A-R, fear. All right. All right. So let's see. Yeah. Sometimes we don't want to follow the leader. But anyway, these planets here, definitely, there is something going on with somebody about this gossip. It's about something that is actually maybe at the point where they are not sure if they want to go share this information with a boss. They don't know, but you do need to. You need to have to document. If you do it with HR, it's supposed to be confidential. And it should be confidential. If it isn't confidential, then actually that HR person should be fired. And they could be. So there is a mountain. There is something. Trust your intuition. Do not doubt your intuition. This is what's going on with the planets. This is what's going on with this reading. This is what the divine is saying. Be careful who you let in. You be your own leader in your destiny, your synchronistic events. You be your own leader in your future of what you put in, because what you put in, you put out. You cuss in, you allow cussing in all the time, you're going to start cussing, you know? And if you start getting angry and let everybody get up in your business when you don't need to, then you're going to get angry. Drama. End it. Drama does nothing for anybody. So we got the number 4, 5, and 6. And that's the number 12, 3. Acknowledge it. Acknowledgement. You have to acknowledge this is going on. When you acknowledge something, you're no longer in denial. When you're not in denial, then that's when you can do something about it or choose not to do something about it. And that is a choice. But then when you have to make a decision, you ask the divine, do I move forward with it? Do I leave it alone? You don't do it yourself. You say, do I leave it alone or do I go, give me a sign, give me a message. Do I leave it or do I move forward with it? So whatever this mountain is that you're facing or something's coming at you or you're struggling over something, this is something that needs to be made a decision between you and the divine, your higher power and you, because you're beginning to start to change. You've got number 10 and number 1 and number 2 all over here. So you've got a wonderful, wonderful balance coming. All right. So that is your reading. And don't forget, tomorrow I will be doing the new moon. And that's at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard. So if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe and the bell. And that will tell you when I'm on. All right. Otherwise, we'll see you on the 18th, 19th, 18th. Yeah. All right. We'll see you then. Oh, hey, Jennifer. Thank you. Yeah. Sure. If you want to do that real quick, you bet. What's your question? Are you there? All right. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and ask. I know I probably speak faster than people type. Isn't that funny? Let me think about that one and let me ask. I'm hearing no. But let me see here. Let me ask Divine to share with us here on that. I don't think so. Sometimes us women jump to conclusions and assume, myself sometimes as well. But a lot of the times there's a lot of different reasons why men do what they do. And I can't go into that here because it's not a coaching session, but I don't believe so. I would say, thank you. So I would say really pay attention to the red flags as far as activity. So sometimes activity can change all of a sudden for certain reasons, and it could be for good reasons or for bad. Sometimes fear sets in as well. We don't know why. How long have you guys been together? Or and may I ask how old you guys are? I would say you guys are pretty young. Is my feeling. In your 20s, maybe mid 20s, somewhere around there. So I would suspect this definitely. So you got the. It's interesting because there's the King of Swords and we've got the Queen of Wands. 34. Oh wow, that's a big age difference, hon. That's a real big age difference. And that that may work. Uh, that's hard. And then the only reason why I say that is because a 60-year-old doesn't think as a 34-year-old. We have a different mindset at that age. We have a real different mindset at that age. And the reason why is that we don't care about things so much as we did when we're in our 30s. And maybe that's why the divine said no in the very beginning. But I would say really pay attention to the activity. Yeah, pay attention to the activity if things just sort of change and you question them because you're wanting to. You got a power couple here, but it's two different things. You got the sword, which is being about the truth, and then you've got communication. So this has to be also a communication about why you feel the way that you do. There can't be just a feeling. You can't go. Sometimes you go by your intuition, but then you ask your intuition, why am I feeling this way? What is the evidence to make me feel this way? Because there's a lot of work and on the Eight of Pentacles, you've got a lot of work and investment into this. So does he. So why would he just throw it away? So I would really pay attention to the red flags, but also too, it seems like there needs to be better communication and somebody has some insecurities. So that also comes. Remember, we were talking just now on the cards about anger, jealousy, retaliation on the wasp. So that jealousy comes from insecurity. Yeah. Well, and that may be true. However, you got to get evidence. That's evidence because you don't want to accuse somebody that they're not. That may be an insecurity in you. If that's happened to you before, that may be just something triggering and bringing that up where that may not be. But I will tell you on a coaching aspect, the more that you tell him, I think you're cheating, and if he's not, you are pushing him away on a coaching because that's your insecurity being pushed off on something that he's not. So really, really pay attention to that and really do listen to your intuition because it could be possible, but also to ask yourself, where is this coming from? And why is it my gut is telling me this? You have to have some factual back. That's why the King of Swords was there. There has to be truth in there somewhere. So is it something that you have to work on yourself, or is it something that if he is doing that, that maybe a decision has to be made? So, but there is a big age difference, I'll tell you, because I'm 60 and or 61 really. But my thought process when I was 30 and what I wanted, what I thought of, and those kind of things is definitely totally different than where I am today. And I don't care about things in my 30s or in my 60s that I did about my 30s. The things that mean more important to me are the things that I cannot touch, feel, and everything like that because our time is shorter. We only have like 10, 15, maybe 20, 30 years at the most. Whereas a 30-year-old, you got plenty of time. So your thought process is very different. All right. But I think, yeah, so definitely. So, yeah, just ask Divine, but just ask Divine to show you signs, show you proof, so show you anything like that. I can't give you those answers. All I can tell you is from what, you know, my experience and also what even in our reading talked about, right? So definitely go with that. Make sure you go to Divine first for all your answers. Really, really do. And I'd love to know the outcome. Please, you can always email me too in private if you want to do that too. All right. So I hope you guys have a good week. Thank you, Jennifer. And I hope everybody has a good week. And we'll see you at the new moon reading or on the 18th. All right. Take care, everybody. Jennifer, take care. Just love yourself and keep moving forward. All right. Bye-bye. You're back on.